Just for anybody that hasn't like been in my stream and wonder how I feel about Suicide Squad, I think Suicide Squad is a very fun game, especially if you have people to play with. It's a fun co-op shooter. Obviously, it's nothing like the Arkham games that Rocksteady is known for. I do think that the end of the story was heavily rushed, and it's because they are doing this live service game where they're building on the story post-launch. But I always think that that's a huge miss. I think that they should really hit hard on the initial story and then build on it, because that's going to make people want to keep coming back, as opposed to feeling like, you know, they kind of got ripped off and then have to pay more and play more at a later date after launch to enjoy the story. I do think that the game is super fun, though. I am really excited to see how the Joker plays and like get my hands on him. I know a lot of people are making fun of the way he looks, but when you know when you realize that he's an Elseworld Joker and he's from a universe that is not relevant to what we know and love from the Joker, then I don't really have too much bother. I don't think he looks the greatest, but I also don't think he looks the worst. I'm going to be honest. There are people, like I was seeing in comments, saying that he, like, oh my God, Jared Leto is not the worst Joker anymore. I disagree. I very much think that Jared Leto is still the worst looking Joker, in my opinion. I think this one looks cool. He's a younger version, and he's got a lot of spunk, in my opinion. You know, that's what the Joker does. Spunk. It's like the idea of like Cameron Monaghan in Gotham, if you guys have seen Gotham. I guess we should also maybe do a spoiler warning, because they might talk about spoilers in this patch notes here. But I also don't want to go crazy in the spoilers while I'm also just doing a video for patch notes. Anyway, I digress. Let's get into this. It's time to take your seats, raise the curtains, and arm the explosives as the Joker is making his debut. A Dynamite performer, after his world Suicide Squad died while fighting Brainiac in an unfortunate and violently explosive fashion, the Joker is back for some interdimensional revenge. Young, energetic, and eager to make a name for himself, this new take on the iconic supervillain is just the injection of panache and insanity that this Suicide Squad needs. The Joker comes with an entirely new traversal kit, using his explosive umbrella to fly around the city in style and hopefully in one piece. With hop, skip, and boom, the Joker takes to the skies, launching himself head over heels towards any enemies unfortunate enough to stand in his way. Then when in the air, the Joker can unfurl his umbrella to float gently to the ground while raining explosives below, or ride on to swoop forwards at a great speed, probably also while raining explosives. The Clown Prince of Crime also comes with an entirely new talent tree with 3 different playstyles of Jester, Firestarter, and Ringmaster. Jester will see the Joker doing some crowd work, getting up close and personal and introducing Brainiac's forces to his flail with devastating melee buffs. Firestarter introduces the theme of affliction specializations to our new characters, with the Joker having a special affinity for fire, with talents to strike the match and plenty to fan the flames. He'll be getting on with the rest of the squad like a house on fire. And finally, Ringmaster is the Joker's way of making a dramatic entrance with his frantic traversal, with ways to extend his airtime and increase his damage while airborne. This is the playstyle for a high-flying, fast-paced, mobile Joker. What's a place like you doing in a guy like this? The launch of a new season means a new Elseworld to explore during incursion and mayhem missions. Season 1 sees a version of Metropolis infected with the twisted and warped mind of the Joker, creating a darkly comic reflection of the city of tomorrow. Those are pretty cool. I really like those. Prop comedy. With increasing threats from Brainiac and his forces, the squad are going to have to improve their arsenal if they want to meet the challenge. Thankfully, Season of Joker Episode 1 includes a litany of legendary, notorious, and infamy set gear to power you up and keep you in the fight. Episode 1 will include a Scarecrow gear set with 3 twisted tiers based around poisoning the very minds of the enemies. A nightmare-inducing set that can stack fear and horror on your enemies with terrifying effects. That is a sick-looking sniper rifle. It's a sick-looking sniper. I've been really loving the Bizarro sniper rifle, but This is a sick looking sniper rifle, in my honest opinion. Notorious items for this episode come from several iconic supervillains, including Mad Hatter, Polka Dot Man, and Reverse Flash. Awesome! Packed with wild and game-changing effects, these new Notorious items offer exciting build opportunities. This season will also launch a new weapon manufacturer, Intergang, featuring close-range, high-damage weapons that shoot multiple projectiles with every shot. This manufacturer's weapons make for devastating close-quarter builds. You'll start seeing weapons of different rarities drop from this manufacturer, including some existing legendary weapons. Take the stage. This episode will include plenty of new missions for you to complete while you fight and power up. There will be a new mayhem mission and assault missions, as well as a new type of incursion mission, combat incursions. These combat-focused incursions allow the squad to do what they do best, bash some Coluan heads together however they see fit. In episode 1, Brainiac will be unleashing a host of new mutators, ramping up the challenge and forcing the squad to adapt to a new battlefield. Enemies will gain Green Lantern shields or even return from the dead if not handled correctly. But thankfully, Brainiac's experimenting has led to some unintended side effects that may be able to help the squad. Do bad and look good. Oh, wait a minute. Season 1 will bring with it a host of new outfits, banners, win poses, and more. The Battle Pass for Season 1 will have both a premium track and a free track, both featuring awesome outfits for the squad, like the Wayne Tech family of outfits. This ultra high-tech set shows how the squad would look if they were suited up by Lucius Fox and features several futuristic swatches too. Dude, hold up. Wait a minute. Look at that bad boy. That's sick. Loving that. I actually really like these outfits. Holy moly. Oh, whoa. Deadshot's Wayne Tech outfit will be earnable on the free track of the Battle Pass alongside many of its swatches. My man. For anyone who doesn't know, I main Deadshot, and I think that looks dope. Changes in this release. We've lowered the requirements for completing the endgame introduction. These are now as follows. Complete Elseworld missions, reach Finite Crisis rank 5, which was previously 10. Complete Killing Time, reach Finite Crisis rank 10, previously 20. And reach Finite Crisis rank 15 after doing Killing Time Hardcore, which was previously 30. And then completing Mayhem mission at Mastery level 10. Patrol missions during the endgame now also grant a 50% experience boost for 45 minutes upon completion. This boost does not stack. However, the duration will refresh if you complete additional patrols while the boost is active. The Affliction Immunity Mutator no longer requires enemies to be hit with a critical to remove the effect. It is now triggered when enemies take any damage. That's great. The Boom Mutator no longer triggers on Shield Harvest or Suicide Strike kills. We've added new HUD customization options that you can toggle on and off. These are health and shield bars, XP bar, traversal resource bar, special abilities, support action, input prompts. I'm definitely turning off input prompts. Mission objective. Care package and clan packages have had their rewards updated to reflect the time and effort needed to increase their tiers. These are now as follow. Civilian care package rewards are now, they will give you, common will give you 100 battle pass XP, which is new because we don't have a battle pass right now. 500 Promethium, 10k credits, 32 precious alloy, and 20 Coluan crystals. And then it seems like we get 2 pieces of gear, an uncommon with 200 battle pass XP, 2 pieces of gear with 300 battle pass, with a bunch of resources, 2 pieces of gear with 400 battle pass XP for epic, and 500 battle pass XP, 2 pieces of gear with your regular, just an array of your resources. Clan care packages will give you 500 battle pass XP at common with the array. Uncommon will give you 3 pieces of gear with the array and 750 battle pass XP. Rare will give you 1,000 battle pass XP with 3 pieces of gear. Epic will give you 1,500 battle pass XP, because I think this is a weekly. I think clan packages are weekly, if I'm not mistaken. 3 pieces of gear, 3 pieces of gear in legendary with 2,000 battle pass XP. Enemy snipers have received some changes. Have had received Why does that not sound right? Enemy snipers have had received some changes to slow them down a little to give player more opportunity to deal with them. They can now also be damaged while teleporting. Snipers now take 30% damage while teleporting, up from 0%. Sniper teleport cooldown has been increased to 7 seconds up from 3 seconds. Sniper teleport proximity distance decreased to 5 meters from 8 meters. Snipers will no longer teleport if they're on the same rooftop as the player while still being outside of teleport proximity distance. Changed assault missions to only offer legendary and notorious items as rewards upon completion and no longer epic or below. Thank you. But if you could also give us an accessibility option to allow us to automatically break down anything below legendary, that would be great too. I'd really appreciate that. That would be wonderful. UI improvements have been made to stacking debuffs on enemies. These should now be more readable. Riddler trophies in scan range are now highlighted. Brainiac in Finite Crisis now takes substantially increased damage from counters. Several Prelude improvements to help new players get the grips with the game's mechanics. Players will now be periodically reminded how to perform the respective actions to progress the current section they are playing through. If players continuously fail a segment of the Prelude, they will be offered the option to skip it. Dynamic tutorials are no longer disabled by default after completing the Prelude. Note, these can still be disabled in the interface menu. Updated the legendary augment and displayed damage of the slot machine grenade in the loadout screen to accurately reflect the grenade's stats. This is a wording change only. Reduced the maximum number of stacks on Bizarro's Undeath Ray from 15 to 10. Reduced the level requirement for unlocking the Lucky Charm slot from 25 to 20. I like that, but I have all my characters max level. I guess with new characters, that'll be effective for me. Prometheum drop by Craftonauts has been reduced. I do have a lot of Prometheum, so I see why they're doing that, especially with the care package that you're getting so much. Lowered the target scores for 2 and 3 of Penguin's Tick Tick Boom missions. We've updated support squad mission, granting infamy sets with an improved reward flow. Players will now receive the first infamy gear piece along with a synergistic legendary weapon when completing the first support squad mission, followed by the second infamy gear piece and an additional synergistic legendary weapon when completing the second or third, depending on the support squad member. Finally, the last branch mission gives both pieces their crafting recipes and one additional synergistic legendary item. That's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. Change the text of the objectives in the counter shot and shield harvest tutorials to more accurately describe the current objective. Updated the icons for Jinx's unlucky coin to be clearer which affliction buff is active. Change the difficulty to set to best pay attention instead of walk in the park by default when starting Mayhem and Incursion missions. Change the Prometheum cost of the Mayhem mission in Chapter 6 to 0 when replaying the chapter. This changes to allow players to replay the story all the way through without having to go to Chapter 7 to earn Prometheum. And then we have an array of bug fixes. I'll leave a link in like somewhere around here and in the info section. But one of the biggest things that I really hope is that connectivity issues are fixed, joining issues are fixed, but just overall multiplayer issues. Because we've had quite a bit, and it's a very frustrating thing to want to play with your friends and family. I have a workaround to play with my friends and family. I can't play when I'm playing on PlayStation with them, but I was gifted the game on Steam first, and then when it went on sale, for the deluxe edition, I split the cost. I ended up saving $5 in the long run to get the deluxe edition, and it's cross progression too, so it ended up working out. But you shouldn't have to have 2 versions of the game to be able to play with your friends. I really hope that like the new missions that get added really make a nice flow to the end game loop. I do not think that this is gonna make it a oh my god play every day game, you know. But at the end of the day, that's okay because I have other games that I like to play. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Until next time, I love you guys.